GTA 5 Online Dailies, AA Gamer for Life, Demented Priest. Alright, so throughout some of the videos and in the general tips I mentioned that one of the dailies is doing a stunt jump, and I loaded up and I was right by the scrapyard and I remember the stunt jump being here. And I'm like, well, go ahead and get that done. And there's nothing too hard if you've been in GTA for a bit. You should probably know where some of the stunt jumps are, but if you don't, I'm going to show you on the map where this one is, and you can come and do it here if you have to. Done many dailies, but never really had a whole lot of stunt jumps, and some of the dailies just go without saying, and I mentioned in the general tips, when you got friends you can play with, and then others, where you have to do contact raid, whatever the multiplayer levels are, a capture content, whatever. If you don't have any friends to set those matches up, you're just going to have to join a public game or start one up. Anyway, doing a stunt jump, that's an easy enough daily right there. And then one of the other dailies is doing an improv race, and now you can just set a waypoint. You saw I put one up there at the back part of the Lost. They will also give you some destinations as well, but the easiest way is just to set a way marker a little bit away. Go up into your pause or your back menu there, and it'll have the option there for the race. The players do need to be close to each other, that's why Demented's there. And then set the waypoint, and then he's gonna basically accept it, and then the little countdown will start. Now, one of his dailies, and something I haven't really mentioned throughout there, is because it's not really thing. You have to be a level 50 in order to call a mugger in on a player. So I guess if you're not a level 50, that could be a problem for getting some of your dailies done. But one thing about the Impromptu Race, there's no checkpoint, so if you want to cheat a little bit, by all means do so. Obviously I'm on a bike and he's in his car, so I get a little bit of advantage, but it's easily to get knocked off at 2, and trust me, if he had the chance, he'd shoot me. But anyway, I've done it many times where I've found myself in a public game and I'll be up in my apartment and I'll call a mugger in on just somebody random. Now, you'll never get the money from it unless you're by the mugger, or you can chase the mugger down and get the money off of him, but the challenge for the daily will pop nevertheless. So one of the things is, like, when me and Demented are doing things, is to be like, alright, I gotta kill you 5 times, or I gotta call a mugger on you, give you a chance to put your money away. So I was like, I knew he had to call a mugger in on me, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna put my money away. And although I only have $50 on me, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do that, but Demented was quick to call the mugger in on me. So I'm sitting there trying to do this, and then out of the blue, he's like, well, I'll be getting my daily. And I'm like, did you already call him? He's like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, let me put my money away. But I didn't have any money really to lose. So the guy comes up, he sticks you. And of course, you got to sit there laying like a lump on a log for what seems like 10 seconds or longer. And then he starts to run off. So the only way to get your money back is to get to him and kill him. And then Demented was nice enough to run up to him and shoot him or run him over. Not really sure if I get my $50 back or not, but he got his daily done, I got my daily done, and it is what it is. So I was like, there's no reason to be sore I won that particular race. Alright, so that took care of the improv race and that, and at this point, it's going to wrap up the dailies, and I think I've covered quite a bit of them. Is parachuting dangerously. Now, I've seen videos, or my buddies told me about, where people have jumped off of buildings, and it says right there, you got to deploy your chute under 100 feet. I've done it where it said to deploy your chute under 200 feet. So just read what it says, and I went down to the docks, up to the highest crane, and I wasn't having any luck getting this daily done. So I just decided to go up in a helicopter and parachute and then just dive down and do what I do basically. Okay, now, like I mentioned, as far as some of the other stuff, I mean, you need to do a capture raid. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you don't have friends, you're gonna just have to join a public game if getting that done is important to you. And then, you know, any of the other stuff, you know, a team deathmatch, a death match, you know, if you don't have friends to set it up, or, you know, or a one-on-one death match, you know, that's been a daily many times where me and the Mented had to start a one-on-one death match. Doesn't matter who wins or loses, just as long as you start it and do it. Okay, so I jump out and basically just gonna glide down to pretty close to the ground and then deploy the chute at the last minute. And that's gonna get our parachuting dangerously in. Say I was more like 50 feet, but I didn't die and I got the challenge in. So just read what it says, and jumping off the buildings just hasn't worked for that particular thing, but it has for other gamers that have been in my game. So whatever it takes, jumping off a building, containers, a crane, whatever. All right, double A gamer for life.